Hello everyone, my name is Juliana and welcome to What's Your Problem? A series where we spotlight students and alumni tackling real-world challenges with creativity, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. In each episode, we'll dive into the journey that they're currently taking, the ways they're trying to solve the challenge, and how NC State's resources help them turn these challenges into opportunities. Today, we are in New York City, and I'm here joined today by
Brian Rekuc.
Brian Rekuc. Thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, happy to be here.
All right, awesome. To start off, can you walk us through your early career path and education, and how that has led you to work today?
Sure. So I graduated from NC State in 2013. I went into school not knowing what I wanted to do. I tried a lot of different things, different clubs, different organizations, found my way to the College of Textiles, graduated with a textile technology degree. If you ask me what I'm doing with that today, not as much, but it was a wonderful program. Honestly, I chose College of Textiles because it was a smaller college, a lot of personal attention. Yeah, a lot of really good professors, really good labs, and a lot of hands-on work. And I really just felt very engaged by those courses. But after school, I wasn't really excited about some of the job opportunities that were coming in that field. So I ended up doing a year abroad. I moved to Madrid, Spain, and I taught English.
Wow.
Yeah, I taught English and science for a year at a bilingual school. So I lived in Madrid for 1 year after college. After that, I completed a master's program at Wake Forest University. It was a 1 year, sort of like a pseudo MBA. It was called a Master's of Science in Management. That degree led me to my first, I would call my first real job or my first adult job in Dallas. I worked for a risk management software company. This was very much like an entry-level position, but it was really good experience learning how to kind of the ins and outs of a particular technology, learning how to work with clients, handle their problems, and manage accounts accordingly. They moved me here to New York City to help lead a small remote office here in Manhattan. So during that 2 years, COVID was right in the middle of that. So it obviously turned everything upside down, right?
Absolutely.
Had to move back to Raleigh for a couple of months, but we all got through it and came out better. So I think through that experience, I think I had a little bit of an epiphany where one day I said to myself, I don't know if I can work. I'm not sure I want to climb the corporate ladder every day, right? I think I want to get something that gets me out of bed a little bit more in the morning. And I started exploring different business ownership opportunities and startups that I could get involved with, or just started tinkering with ideas of my own. I ultimately kind of thought about what was most important to me, what I valued most, and one thing I kept coming back to was health, wellness, and fitness. And I actually have a friend from high school who was involved with MADabolic in Charlotte. They introduced me to the corporate team, and we had a lot of discussions. 6 months later, we found this location here in Williamsburg. And then about 9 months after that, we completed the build out and opened our doors in September of 2022. Everything needed to be done. I was the man that did it.
The man of many hats.
Yeah, you could say that. And then at one point I did hire a full-time manager, sort of life changed. I got married. My wife got pregnant. So we had some things happen, right? Life is going to happen. So I realized that I needed to bring in a little bit more income for the family. So I got a job with a tech company called WellHub that's actually part of the wellness and fitness continuum. So it's a fitness aggregator that brings different wellness resources to users through their company. So companies can opt into using WellHub as sort of their wellness benefit for employees. So that's sort of where I am today. I'm still, MADabolic started as my, for the past 4 years, it was all I thought about all day, every day. And now it's grown into a position where it's sort of more of my side hustle now. And I'm able to focus on things that, bring in other streams of income and just sort of broadening my horizons a little more.
Got it. Yeah. And I do see that more people are asking that question. Do I really want to pursue this linear path, or are there more options?
Yeah, definitely. Nobody, I think, coming out of school, you expect that you're going to take some sort of linear path, right? find a company, maybe you ascend the ladder in that company, maybe you bounce around to different companies and keep kind of climbing through that way. But, I keep up with a lot of friends from NC State, and almost everyone I know, it's not been like that, right? There's going to be opportunities that come up along the way. There's going to be different things you may want to get involved with that start to pull you in different directions, whether that be more entrepreneurial, more service-based, more travel, right? Like family, whatever. Things are going to pull you in different directions, and life is not as clean on paper as maybe you think it is when you're younger. So,
Never.
Yeah.
Never. Awesome. What problem does MADabolic solve in the wellness and health industry, and what challenges have you faced thus far?
For starters, MADabolic is a little bit different in the sense of a traditional boutique fitness studio.
Yeah.
We're very much a strength and conditioning program that is not as suited for the occasional drop-in or the I'll come when I feel like it crowd. We are after those sort of 25 to 45-year-old go-getters and high performers, people that are building their health and their wellness into their daily routine, and it's a habit. So catering towards that demographic it can be difficult because those people aren't everywhere. And so we're looking for the people that want to find a regimented program and follow it strictly, because that's where we know that they're going to find results. So MADabolic sort of differentiates itself in that we have a very structured, very well thought out training program that builds upon itself throughout different micro cycles throughout the year. The challenges here, well, one, for New York City, I would say half of our clients don't know that they're going to be living in New York City a year from now. A lot of people when they're in their 20s move to New York, and it's sort of a year-to-year thing. They say, I have a job here for now, but I don't know if I'll have that job, or it may move me somewhere else. But the other challenge too is, finding those people that want consistently. There's so many options out there when it comes to fitness. There's so many different modalities, types of gyms, different studios, big name brands, mom and pop shops. Like, there's so many out there. The competition is so strong, and I don't think that's not specific to New York. That would be the case in Raleigh too, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of different options. So it's finding your people, finding the people that not only resonate with your workout, but also want to become part of your community. And I think it all starts with building a community that people want to become a part of.
How did NC State and Wake Forest University, correct, for your master's, help you both academically and with their campus resources to shape the way you lead, collaborate, or think about user-centered solutions?
All right. NC State and Wake Forest are pretty different institutions, but they're a lot more similar than people might think. Obviously, NC State with tens of thousands of students and faculty, lots of different resources, lots of different opportunities. I think I really try to take advantage of that, especially in my later years at NC State. Getting involved with more organizations across campus, everything from Greek life to the yearbook to, club sports, things like that. I was able to meet a lot of folks and really make a lot of connections and really just sort of broaden my network. One thing that I learned from both places and both experiences is that building relationships and nurturing those relationships can take you a lot farther than, technical skills. I think the technical knowledge and, knowing how to read a balance sheet is very important, but a lot of that you can teach yourself, and you're going to have to go back and study when the time comes anyways.
Yeah,
versus
to apply it.
Right. Versus, the people that you can meet and the relationships that you can build and the doors that you can open. There's no better time to do that than when you're in school, whether it's undergrad or graduate program. Those opportunities of having so many people from so many different backgrounds, but all focused on the same thing, whether it's the same major, the same concentration, the same degree, right? You're all sort of moving in the right direction or in the same direction, but you all have different backgrounds and experiences and pasts. And so it's hard to see that when you're in it, I think, because you're just overwhelmed and kind of consumed with everything going on around you, around campus. But I think it's important to really embrace that and take advantage of all of those opportunities and perspectives that you have around you. And so today, I think that's what I try to remember. What's their perspective? How are they seeing this situation? To me, it may seem easy. To me, it seem easy to say, hey, work a little harder, lift a little heavier. But to them, it's more like, well, I don't know how their day was. I don't know what they've been going through. I don't know what their background is. So kind of being able to look at any situation from their shoes, I think is something that I've taken away from both schools, is that you have to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes to be able to fully understand kind of why they are where they are.
As you look into the future, onward, what impact do you hope to make next, and how do you see it evolving?
What really is important to me professionally, but also just kind of internally, is just wellness overall and movement, right? To me, it's about getting more people moving. I think the mind and the body are very connected. When you're moving your body, your mind is working better. So to me, I'm not trying to get the best athletes in metabolic. I'm trying to get more people in metabolic. I'm trying to get more people moving. And I think that's what we do a really good job of here, is, teaching more people how to move well. It's important for me to teach people the right things, and then be able to let them take that on, into their next phase of life. But professionally, I think that still aligns with a lot of my goals at WellHub, is getting more companies to embrace wellness as more of a need to have. Right now, when it comes to benefits for a lot of companies, things like mindfulness, mental health, physical health, fitness, a lot of that is a nice to have when it's in the budget. But I think that that's starting to really shift, where it's becoming more of a need to have, not only to attract and retain better talent, but also because it's something that a lot of employees, especially, younger employees from different generations, are going to expect, that not only are they taken care of financially, but they're being supported in their wellness. So that's basically what my job is all day, is to introduce more and more of these organizations to a wellness benefit. That's not only saying, here's some money for a gym every month, like the old fashioned reimbursement, but now it's, hey, well, what if, for Juliana, the gym's not what supports her best. She needs sleep support and mental health support and, all these other things, right? WellHub provides that solution that's more of that aggregator to bring a lot of these things together and meet your employees where they are in their wellness journey. I think for me, that's something that really aligns with where I want to take my career is, okay, I've introduced metabolic to a few thousand people in New York City. That's great. Where can I bring it next? Is there another location in the future for us? Are we, is there other ways to expand in other markets, or how can we grow this single location? And as far as WellHub goes, it's all about making wellness a little bit more of a baseline benefit versus a fringe benefit for these companies. Pretty soon we're going to get back to basics. Right now there's a lot of fluff out there, and there's a lot of it's gone very wide. It's gone very broad. I mean, we're in the Ozempic age, right? Like,
unfortunately,
and I mean it's sort of the, there's people think that you can cut corners, and those don't build habits. I think to me, where wellness is going is it's going to get back to basics very soon, where it is taking care of your body through simple, repetitive, correct movements, and doing those things well and doing them consistently. It's not about going to a different gym or a different studio every day. It's not about trying a new workout every week. It's about finding what works for you and sticking with that. The industry is going to start to consolidate in that direction, where there's going to be maybe fewer brands, but they're all focused on one specific type of exercise or type of fitness.
Well, thank you so much, Brian Rekuc, for your time today and for this plethora of wisdom and knowledge that many people just don't know and wish to understand. And yeah, just incredible hearing all of it.
I appreciate your time, Juliana. Thanks for inviting me to this conversation, and enjoyed sharing some of this with you. And I'm excited to see where the entrepreneurship program at NC State goes.
Thank you. And where can people find you? Any of your social medias? And I mean, I know we are in Metabolic Studio here, so we'll definitely link that. But any other resources you would like to share for our audience?
No, you can look at Madabolic as our corporate handle on Instagram, or Madabolic_Brooklyn. There's also a couple of Madabolic locations in Raleigh already, if you want to go check those out. One very near the NC State campus, actually. Owned by 2 NC State grads, I should add.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find me on LinkedIn as well if you'd like to connect.
Yes. Well, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of What's Your Problem, where NC State innovators turn challenges into impact. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channels to see more student stories. Want to share your own problem or project? Learn more about NC State's innovation and entrepreneurship programs on our website at ssie.entrepreneurship.ncsu.edu. Until next time, keep asking yourself, what's your problem?